in Russian are similar. Piva and Pivo, we'll let you Google that to figure out what that means. But it looks like our first matches are, wrestlers are coming to the mat, John.
Yep, and there is the graphic telling you who they are. Anna LUKASIAK of Poland. Well, here she comes, the 29-year-old, and she will go against Emilia VUC, the youngster by 6 years from Bucharest. And in terms of tail of the tape, what can we expect for this one, Jason?
Both these wrestlers have some pretty good credentials behind them. LUKASIAK looking for her first medal here at the European Championship. She's been a world silver medalist at the university level, so the World University Silver in 16. Also a gold medalist at the Paris Grand Prix last year. So she has finished 5th twice. This is the 3rd time she's been a bronze medal match. She's looking for her first medal here at the Europeans. While Emilia VUC, young up-and-comer, 2-time World Junior Silver medalist, World Military Games champion. So we are underway here in Novi Sad.
We absolutely are, and it's the longer and leaner VUC trying to stay on the outside, use those long limbs, the much more squat pole, using her strength to try and defend. And of course, so important not to overcommit at this stage. They'll have been quiet, the adrenaline will take a while to kick in, so it's very important to get some intel to feel out the opponent.
Yeah, you also want to make sure you control the ties too. I mean, here in the Continentals, you obviously have opponents that have seen each other more than once, so the familiarity and getting to know your opponent, probably not a big thing at this point, as they've trained and traveled and camps together and things of that nature. So I think you're going to just wait for them to see an angle and opening, work a collar tie or 2-on-1 and go for it.
But not waiting for too long, because the center referee has spotted a little bit of passivity. As you said, no need to feel each other out and look for action. The referee is advising them to get on with it. The first polite warning. And it's worth pointing out what happens if there's one more official warning.
Right, each wrestler will get basically a warning with the passivity, which is a warning. In other places they say stalling. Well, it's not necessarily the same thing, but if the blue wrestler, as you see, VUC just got warned, if she gets hit with another passivity, she will go on a 30-second shot clock, and she will have to score during that 30 seconds. We'll get to that moment when it comes, because it's likely to happen with neither wrestler. Really, now we see a passivity offered. And I think LUKASIAK.
Absolutely right. Just as you've explained it, the other way around now. Both wrestlers been warned for passivity, so that little bit of a stalemate at the start, a good slap to the head there from VUC. Some rough stuff on the inside from the Romanian. Nothing to tell on the scoreboard, but the referee's going to intervene again here.
And there's the second passivity warning. It is confirmed by the judge or the chairman. Again, 3 officials to determine. It looks like we do have a shot clock. We have 30 seconds on the clock, and there's also a rule change, or a modification, not necessarily a change. It used to be when the 30-second shot clock expired, they would stop the action. Now, if there is no scoring, they're just going to continue wrestling. It keeps the flow of the match going, and it doesn't create an artificial stoppage.
Excellent modification as they are pushed towards the edge of the mat there. But that 30 seconds, well, it's nearly run its course here. LUKASIAK has to be aggressive, doesn't want to overcommit. But as you rightly said there, Jason, it will be that first point. VUC has a slender lead as we reach into the last 30 seconds of this engrossing period.
Yeah, what's going to happen there, too, is they've also taken away the caution, the penalty with that. So that is just 1 point. It is not a caution one, it's just 1 point. And we're not going to see a situation where an offensive action is trumped by a penalty point.
Well, rewarding that aggressive action, that intensity, as we reach into the last 10 seconds of a very difficult opening round for both wrestlers. Emilia VUC, by the merest of margins, well, she's going to retreat back to her corner with that 1 point lead. Slender lead, but a useful one. And now, if you're in the Polish corner now, you're the coach, what advice can you give? Not much of a difference between the two, just a little bit too passive, perhaps. Yeah,
you want to control the ties, you want to get inside control, and you want to push the action to the edge to kind of create that pressure. Because if you go out of bounds, you're going to get the 1 point push out. So put some pressure on your opponent to try to create an angle and get them backing up on their heels. Then you can create the angle. Maybe look for a short drag or a sweep attempt, using those angles.
Well, looking for every angle to try and get an advantage here in this second period. It is for the bronze. Poland against Romania.
I'd also tell you, John, if I was in the Polish corner right now, there'd be a lot of problems, because those guys know a lot more than I do about sport of wrestling. So,
and they can speak Polish.
That too.
Which is a big, useful factor in this one. But who's going to write their name on European history books here? As you mentioned, the youngster against the more senior, neither having a medal at this stage. So a big moment for them here. And as they're grappling, looking for that information, who's strong on what side, where to push, where to probe, and it is the pressure from the pole at the moment. VUC is trying to shoot for the single leg here.
Yeah, it goes in, doubles off, trying to power through. Good sprawl here by LUKASIak, trying to pressure forward. Now posting on the head is a good shot defense there, so no points, but the first real good attempt by VUC this bout so far.
Yeah, as you said, VUC shot for those legs, but that sprawl, that spreading themselves as she shoots for it again. Can the pole extricate herself from it? She's very strong on the defense at the moment.
Yeah, got a short offense go here, looking to work that underhook. Closing position, and we'll get a fresh start, 4:04. Gone by here in this first bronze medal bout at 48 kilos.
What an intense battle it has been. Still some time left for LUKASIak to do something. Tries for a little sacrifice throw. Can she sneak round the back? She's got the single leg. Puts the pressure on, but good defense from VUC. Maybe too defensive.
Well, we had a situation where he had to fight out of the position. Good job. And now both wrestlers got hit for passivity shortly thereafter. And now that's VUC's second time. Now she's on the clock, as you see the 30-second clock counting upwards on your screen.
Well, can VUC count herself a little bit fortunate here, because she's going to have to work. LUKASIak has put the pressure on from the very start. You mentioned that World Championship pedigree that she's got here at the Europeans. She's using that to her advantage at the moment. VUC has a potential to get a little throw in there, but LUKASIak responds. The clock ticks down, and it's going to be all tied up.
1-1 on the scoreboard, and now LUKASIak has criteria with 1 minute to go in the bout. In this situation, both scoring sequences are equal, 1-1. In this case, last point scored, little go behind, looking to get the fourth supporting point, but she's going to drive out VUC and get the 1-point push out. So criteria now no longer a factor as LUKASIak drives VUC out of bounds. 1 point for her on the push out, or step out, and that'll be a 2-1 lead.
Well, that slender margin, that 1 point lead, as we get into the last 40 seconds or so of what has been a tough battle for both. The referee having a close look here. LUKASIak on the defensive again. VUC trying to sneak round the back. Can she push for a little takedown point here? She can't get her legs out. Good defense from the pole.
Yeah, looking some counter offense here. Trying to look at that position. VUC now looking maybe for a crotch lift. And we're looking for a fresh start. So short time, 13 seconds remaining. And now, focus here. Amelia VUC has to get after any point. We'll give her the bout by criteria.
VUC is pushing
and she
forward.
does
She's
it.
going to get to the big pushing. Can she get her down for the big throw in the end there? Fantastic 4-point shot, and what a return. VUC had to go for it. As you rightly said, Jason, she had no time left on the clock. She produced the big throw. The clock ticks down, and from the clutches of defeat, she produces a victory and a brilliant bronze medal for the youngster.
Oh, I mean, we were talking sports science and nerd type of stuff last night about how many matches are won in the last 10 seconds. That one right there, Amelia VUC, bronze medal. Needed points. She was going to get it on the push out one way or the other. She went for it, said, nope, I'm going to put 4. I'm going to put you straight to your back. What a finish by the young Romanian.
Perfect finish indeed for the pole. Disappointment, so close. She had that World Championship silver, couldn't convert here. But this young lady, Emiliana VUC, the 23-year-old from Bucharest, well, she'll be in need of a rest after this one. Lots of energy, and what a finish there, what a fantastic throw. Talk us through it, Jason.
Well, she's trying to push the action toward the edge, got that overtime the whizzer, and then boom, just going to sit there and double off. You saw that in that situation, LUKASIak tried to throw a little too late. She was already on the way down. The motion, the action had already been committed. So at that point, it was like, you know, oh, I'm just going to try to throw something here. By that time, VUC had just finished out of bounds, straight to your back, put you in danger. 4 points. Very simple score.